inevitable.
Oh yeah. This is another Khaos Central production. Khaos List, starring my main man Nzo, 1/3 of three-headed monster we call the Khaos Central crew. This intro is by this show, the Khaos List. I hope you like it, bro. Here we go. The Khaos List is the name of the show, and the name of the host you know is Nzo. If you say something crazy, dumb, stupid, or wrong, it's a one-way trip to the Phantom Zone to be like Nzo. Hold up, I didn't mean it. Guess what, son? Your ass should have seen it coming. Gotta watch what you say, just like the Mandalorian. And this is the way. Monday night, 9 o'clock. Second Monday of the month. This is the spot. So get ready. Strap on in. The crew is ready, so let's begin. So let's go.
Yo, what is people? What is going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Khaos List. Chris Knight and Danny Graham will be in here in a second. Also, he'll pop in if he can. So we're gonna have a great discussion on what's going on with the Jonathan Major stuff today. So make sure you check it out. Eli, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
You could find me everywhere and nowhere at the same time, especially on X, Threads, Instagram, here, there, nowhere. I got funny videos. I got science information. Like, for instance, you got clear skies. Look up tonight. To the left, you'll see Jupiter. To the right, you'll see Uranus. Not Uranus, Uranus. We're going to go back to the old pronunciation.
Okay. What up, David? What up, Mew1? How you doing, man? Thanks for popping in. JG, what about you, brother? Where can I find you?
Always find me Wednesday nights on the OOC with Nzo, aka the Abbott and the Osiris of this shit. You can also find me there with his counterpart, another part of the Canadian royalty, Roberto, aka No Woman No Cry. Also find me with Superwise talking that geek stuff that I love.
See what I'm saying, JG? Always coming in with the fire, you know? We definitely gonna get into topic when Chris and Danny come in here. But the original thing I wanted to do is I wanted to have a debate, right? And it was going to be a debate of, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? So I sent it out in the chat thinking, I know Chris doesn't think it is, right? So that's right away I knew he was on the opposite side. So I'm like, all right, me, Chris. Then I said Danny. Danny said it's not a Christmas movie. Eli said it's not a Christmas movie. JG said it's not a Christmas movie. So I'm like, well, what the fuck are we talking about here? I'm not going to be debating these four guys by myself. You know what I mean? So that's why that didn't happen. But I'm still looking for a few that'll come in here and come on my side and say that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Because I just watched it the other day, and hands down, it's a Christmas movie.
Nzo, a Christmas movie is a themed about Christmas. Just because it has Christmas in the scene does not make it a Christmas movie. Like I said, Sound of Music, Julie Andrews singing about warm wooden mittens, marionette puppets, yodeling puppets. It's not a Christmas movie.
So whose rules? By whose rules, right? It happens at Christmas time. There's Christmas decorations.
You're wrong,
No.
You're wrong.
Go ahead.
No, it happens on Christmas Eve, not Christmas.
What's
So
your
that's
point?
like 1, 2, and 3.
I said
Christmas Eve
Christmas.
is not Christmas.
I
Christmas
said
Eve is not
Christmas
Christmas.
time. I said
No,
time.
Christmas time.
Christmas
December
Eve
is a
Christmas
month.
time.
I mean, every day is Christmas.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly. You can say that. Yes.
Star Trek Generations, there's a Christmas theme in there. There's Picard, there's the Christmas tree. Merry Christmas, Papa. So Picard, Star Trek Generations is a Christmas movie.
If they did, yes. Yes. Yes, 100%.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, 100%.
Harold and Kumar say
okay,
Christmas is more of a Christmas movie than Die Hard.
So here's a question. Right? Here's a question. So what are the parameters of it being a Christmas movie?
Christmas themed.
Well, in that case,
so
could be
okay.
correct.
Hold on.
Christmas party,
which is a Christmas theme.
Yeah.
So go ahead. What's the other one?
Christmas theme, Christmas elements. At least
There
a
was
Christmas,
Christmas elements.
at
There
least the
was Mary.
Christmas.
I'm about to get
Yeah.
on Onzo's
Hold
side
on.
now when I'm thinking about
At
it.
least
Hang
the
on,
what? At least the what? At
hang
least a
on.
Christmas tree. There is a Christmas
At
tree.
least a Christmas tree placed in there because the
There is.
writers had to change the script from a summer movie to a Christmas movie because it was too damn dangerous and harsh for the kids. They
There
toned
is a.
down the
Hold
theme.
on. There
They
is a
toned down the
Christmas
theme.
tree.
They changed the movies.
There is a Christmas tree. So there, one of your
Is
parameters,
there
two of them, I
is
just met.
okay? Does this movie have involved about dealing with Christmas itself? No, it does
Yes,
not. No, no,
because
it's
that
about a
Christmas. The
heist.
only.
It's
Oh,
about a
yes,
heist.
but
It's
the
not about a
only
Christmas.
reason why he is there is because it's Christmas time, right?
Just like you're
Any
saying, the
other
rep is
time.
a Christmas movie, right? The rep
Which
because
one?
Dennis Leary, the rep because he was
I
there
don't
in the
know.
house.
I
Oh,
don't know.
Dennis Leary, come on,
Anything with a
Mickey.
Christmas tree or during Christmas time. Thank you. Exactly.
No,
Hello,
it's does
everyone.
not. Die Hard is not Christmas movie because it has nothing to do with Christmas. It has to do with a heist. It's not a
Say it
Christmas
again.
themed movie going. It
Hey,
has to do with a heist, not a Christmas
it,
themed event. It's
is
a robbery.
is Home Alone a Christmas movie?
Yes. Well, which?
Oh,
Yeah, it is because it
okay. So
happens
Home
during
Alone is
Christmas.
a Christmas movie, and the theme is not Christmas.
The
Hello.
theme is his family leaving for Christmas, and he's home
And
alone.
this okay. So then the theme of John McClane going to see his
No,
wife
he goes
is
to the
because it's
No.
his wife
Christmas.
dragged him to that party. He didn't want to go.
No, but it's Christmas though.
It's
You see what I'm
Christmas
saying?
Eve.
Okay,
Okay, but you see what I'm
did
saying?
anybody? Nobody listen to what I said. A Christmas movie has to involve dealing with the spirit of Christmas holiday, not a heist. Die Hard had nothing to do with
It-
Christmas holiday except a
yes,
heist. That's what it was.
yes,
It
it
had an
did.
element. You had a Christmas theme
Hold on.
element there, but it had nothing to do with the plot.
It
Christmas had
doesn't.
nothing
It
to do
does.
with the plot.
Christmas has nothing to do with Home Alone either. The plot in Home
Yes,
Alone
it
either. It has
does.
nothing to
Yes,
He
do.
it
gets
is.
What?
gifts
They
and
were
everything.
going home for Christmas. That
He
was
was
the plot
going
of
to
Home
see his
Alone.
wife for Christmas.
No, he's seeing his
What are we
wife
talking
For a
about?
for an office
party.
party,
Office
for
No, no, no,
Christmas
party.
no, no, no,
Eve
no, 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 no,
office
no,
party.
no. There, there was an office party that he went there, but the reason why he went to see his wife is because it's Christmas time. He went to spend Christmas with his family.
That's you know
It's
what?
the same thing. It's the same thing.
A
So if
Christmas
that's the
man.
case,
movie has a Christmas element theme that involves dealing with the theme of Christmas. You know, caring, joy, love, happiness, or
it did.
conflict between family members. The Die
It
Hard
did.
was this guy went to an office party and all of a sudden he's in the middle of trying to
It
stop a
did.
robbery. That was the
It did.
movie.
It did. It was during Christmas time. He went there because it was Christmas time. They had Christmas decorations. They had a Christmas tree. It was definitely Christmas movie.
Oh my gosh. Did Sanity just come in here? Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Danny, welcome. Thank you, Danny. Oh my gosh.
Hey,
Oh.
what up, Danny?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Danny, I'm trying to explain to him that a Christmas movie involves a Christmas elemental theme about Christmas spirit, the joy, the family, the hardships, not going to a party and all of a sudden stopping a robbery. That is not a Christmas movie.
You know, it's a bad day when I agree with Eli.
Hold on, Mike.
But
Mike,
I agree 1,000%
Yes.
with Eli. He just said.
is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Yes. Thank
Absolutely.
you. Yes,
It is not.
100%.
If this would
Oh, it
happen,
is.
if this would have happened, let's say 4th of July, would have been a 4th of July movie. If this would happen on St. Patrick's Day, same thing.
Danny.
St. Patrick's, a different holiday.
Danny.
Would it have been a St. Patrick's Day holiday? No.
Danny, now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho,
Facts.
ho.
Facts.
Oh my
Facts.
gosh.
Facts. Facts.
it.
Not only did he write ho ho ho, he put a Santa hat on the dude. What are we talking about?
Wow. So
See,
let's just
even-
say let's
even
just
Dandelion agrees.
let's just say if he would have put on a leprechaun bowler cap, so it would have been a St. Patrick's Day movie.
Like, try to
If
take
it
my Lucky
happened-
Charms
if
now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's the thing. If it happened during St. Patrick's Day, and that's the reason why he was there because it's St. Patrick's Day, then yes, it's a St. Patrick's Day movie.
This was
No, it is not.
The reason why he's there is because it's Christmas time.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a Christmas movie, Enzo. You could change any holiday, and this movie still would have worked. It
You
just
could say
happened to
that
be
for
Christmas.
You could say
You
that
just
for
happen
Home
to be-
Alone.
The
Is Home
theme
Alone
of the
a Christmas
movie.
movie?
The
Yeah.
theme of Die Hard is to stop a robbery, not to reunite with his family for Christmas. That's the theme of the movie.
Hold on, let me go back to where Dandelion said here. It's a family movie, foiling the heist, teaching him about the importance of his family.
Oh my God.
I'm
Oh,
just saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying. You see, this is the debate I wanted to have, Mike, right? I was like, we're going to have a diehard debate. But then when I put it in the chat, everybody said no except me. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to debate everybody by themselves. But I have Dandelion in the front saying it's a Christmas movie, and I have you there saying it's a Christmas movie. So maybe we can have a debate on this.
why do you think I said
serious trolling?
Why do you think I said sound the voice of reason when I saw Danny, not Mike? Okay, and they both hop at the same time.
I
know what I'm talking about.
I think y'all motherfuckers put Danny on too high of a pedestal. What are we talking about here? You know what I mean?
Wow.
Well, I mean, he does always lose the verses, so yeah, you could be right.
Wow. I don't have secret accounts like you do, Mike.
Wow.
Ooh.
It just takes one account, mine right here. This is the only one I need.
As somebody whose history of losing the Rumble and the Neptune, I have to go, ouch, that was harsh. Ow.
Well, we already know you're the local loser in the Khaos Central crew, so that is nothing new. Mr. Knight is here. So, Danny, shout out your channel where the people can find you.
You can find me on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays on the Road to Wisdom, a channel I'm doing. Try to do encouragement and uplifting things, positive things that we don't get a lot here on this YouTube world, but I'm trying to do that. And of course, on the show here with the guys, whenever Enzo does a ranking, Sunday nights, Storms Live, and tomorrow night I'll be on the Hangout with Guy Scar. So
yes, sir.
I'm a little bit everywhere.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chris Knight, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
You can find me here on Khaos Central, here, there, and everywhere right now. Just trying to shore stuff up and get back to doing things on a regular basis. That's the big thing right now. But yeah, these in the rankings for sure. That's where you can find me right now.
Absolutely. And thank God Chris missed the whole Christmas debate with Die Hard. But we're gonna get into that. Don't worry, we're gonna have that debate.
I didn't miss it. I just know you're trying to stack the deck. You can't. Listen, that's exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to stack the deck.
No, I just need some partners because I want to do it like teams, right? So I'm going to have the pros and the cons. And when I put it in the chat, everybody was a con. So I was like, well, I can't do it by myself. So we're going to have some people on that are on my side, and we're going to do that debate.
Yeah, we can do it myself. I'm the only one that's on that limb by itself about Revenge of the Sith. I don't mind doing it.
Yeah, but when I came over there, Daddy, I did back you up, though. I did back you up when I went over there, though. You know what I mean? I did. I backed you up. Huh? On the Revenge of the Sith and the prequel stuff. I did back you up on there. Go watch it.
Revenge of the Sith is Revenge of the Sith is like top 3 or 4 of all the movies.
Well, I can agree. For Danny, it's number 1, though, right? So
I know, but still, I mean, hey, I can't argue with the fact that's the best of the prequels.
We went with the smaller kings, and they were talking all kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah. But even though I still went over there and held his own, and then Danny busted me out. He was like, "Oh, well, Enzo thinks Empire Strikes Back is better." I'm like, Danny, I was coming over here to back you up, bro. I would have went straight as Revenge of the Sith.
Well, you gotta spread it strategically, both of them. Usually be, see, I told you. No, really.
Well, yeah, when we hear on this stream, yeah, for sure. I'm gonna tell you straight up, 100%. It's Empire Strikes Back.
So wait. Revenge of the Sith is top 3 for the sequels.
Yep.
I mean the prequels.
No, for all.
No, it is. It's the best one. It's top 3 for all of them. It's top 3 or 4
for all 9.
Yes. What about what is Empire?
Yeah.
Is Empire number 1?
Empire is 1.
Good. I can still hang with you guys. Okay.
But hold on, Danny, you think Revenge is better though?
I do.
Okay,
I don't see. I was answering my question. To me, I like it better. I don't hate Empire, but my biggest argument, man, they're fighting in slow motion. They fighting like geriatric Jedi. I don't want to see that. I done got used to seeing the fast. Seeing, I'm just telling you. When I look at
I know.
Obi-Wan and Anakin fighting, there ain't nothing better. There ain't nothing better.
Well, Dad, I got a question for you. So let's say they redid Empire Strikes Back.
When they speed it
They
up,
redid the whole fighting scene and made it fast like you wanted. Would it still be? Would it be number one?
it probably would improve.
Okay.
Because Vader's a badass. I told Anzo that fan made is better. If they would done that fan made like they instead of the Obi-Wan and Vader fighting in the quarter, man.
Oh yeah.
Danny, the difference is they had a compelling story in Empire Strikes Back, so they didn't have to resort to gimmicks such as bouncing around in a highly choreographed.
I didn't say
fight.
anything about the Yoda and Dooku fight. I'm telling you,
no.
The one with Anakin and Obi-Wan, that was choreographed for months. They cared about it.
That was good. Yeah.
Now they are not doing that.
Choreographing isn't caring, and it has nothing to do.
Oh
with
yes, it was.
Mike,
that was care.
Let's
Stop it, Mike.
And see, hold on. I was not. I mean, I guess by virtue of the fact that I'm speaking negatively about it, I was trashing it, but I was just defending the lightsaber battle in Empire Strikes Back because there was the story.
Well, he didn't have a way of doing.
So you didn't need all the flourishes and the dancing and all that stuff.
So
what
was the excuse with Return of the Jedi?
All you needed was that sword fight, that lightsaber battle beats anything in the prequel.
No.
Yes.
No. Listen, when they practice, when they do the choreography and the blocking with the lightsabers, they end up bending the poles. When this fight here, the poles weren't even bent. That's what they're just tap, tap, tap. They were just doing the motions. They kept them bending the poles as pure passion, man. That's how you know they were actually into it.
All right. Well, let's get on with this.
And John Williams' score behind it. It just everything was there. It was working. You guys, I don't know.
John Williams' score was behind Anakin and Obi-Wan. I'm just saying.
No. His music in the first three was better than what he did in the prequels. Let's stop. Because if it was, Duel of the Fates. How many times did they use that over and over?
Here's the thing.
That was supposed to be for Darth Maul. Darth Maul and Qui-Gon's fight.
But here's the thing. The one in Phantom Menace is different. Go look it up. The one in Phantom Menace is different. It sounds pretty much the same, but it's different.
But they kept going back to it. In fact, in Attack of the Clones, which is the worst Star Wars product ever created.
No.
They did not keep going back to it. They sampled it. They sampled it, and they made the finish to it. They did not go back to it. It was sampled to the original.
It was so weak that George Pro Tooled it into the movie when Anakin was driving on the speeder bike after he murdered the Tusken Raiders. So that is.
Who sent Mike this link?
I did. But you know what? We're gonna get it. We're definitely gonna have this topic because that's another one too. Because I am on these guys' side. Mike is capping on all of that prequel stuff, and he knows I've been battling for the prequels for years, and I still will. So we're gonna get into all of that. We're gonna do debate. We'll get into the Star Wars stuff because I definitely want to have that battle with the spoiler kings as well. But right now, as you guys know, we are here to talk about what is going on with Marvel and the Jonathan Major stuff. So before we get it started, I'm gonna have to do this for a second. Hold on, guys. And I am going to say, fuck Grace Jabari. Fuck Alvin Biggs and that DA's office. Fuck the officers who arrested him. Fuck Variety and the Hollywood Reporter for those articles. And fuck everybody on social media that still thinks he's guilty. Rolling Stones too. Thank you, Mike. I'm going to add that in the next one.
You're 20 minutes late. You're supposed to do that before, dude. You said it last night.
I can't because YouTube, you got to talk. You can't curse in the first couple of minutes. So I have to do something else. You know what I mean? So that's what I wanted to say.
It's called eloquent timing.
Exactly. And since we're getting into the topic, we are going to discuss it because, as you guys know, Jonathan Majors was found guilty. We've talked about the cases and everything, the evidence, and him being innocent to high hell. We've talked about it a lot. But if anybody wants to, because Chris hasn't talked about it, so if anybody wants to mention it or say something about it, go right ahead.
Can I just go first because I'm going to be very
Yeah.
quick because I have a customer that might be headed. He's headed on his way here now. I don't know if he's going to, but let me just say this because it's going to be simple. I do not think I'm looking at the title above in the StreamYard thing. Should we ban Marvel for firing Jonathan Majors? I would say no, and the reason I would say that is because out of everybody that cut him, that disassociated themselves from him back in March, Marvel's the only one that didn't do that. They waited. Now, granted, the outcome is what it was, and they proceeded from that point of view, which was the 2 counts of being guilty or whatever. And whether that's true or not, I mean, it is now an official verdict. So I don't know what the plan is or what he can do to clear his name, if anything. But from a business standpoint, I mean, they didn't cut him like his agency did. And what was the other one? There was like the Marines, I think it was. That was the
The
other thing
Marine
that
Corps, yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So they hung with him until the end. I mean, so I would give them props for that. Now, if you want to get into all, I saw people on Twitter today talking about like Bill Murray and there were 2 other ones. They said like, oh, if it's good, to have them in the movies or whatever. But the thing is, I don't think they were. Number one, Bill Murray was just like a side thing in Quantumania. I mean, he has no they're basing the entire phase on Kang, so
Mhm.
he's going to be an integral part of this, and it's current. Like whatever the Bill Murray thing is, it's not like he's not in on trial or anything like that. It's a messed up situation. He got screwed, and but I wouldn't necessarily. If you want to be mad at Disney, it'd be like 10 or 20% mad at him because of the outcome. But at least they didn't cut him as soon as everything had happened. That's what I'd say about that.
All right. Anybody have a different opinion?
Oh, I wanted
I
to say
do.
something. Sorry, Danny. Go ahead, Danny.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Haley.
Okay. There's these words that have been floating around since last night. Quote: "He's over. His job is done. He'll never work in Hollywood again." Unquote. These exact same words were said about Robert Downey Jr. Remember what happened to him? Drugs, assault, everything. The dude took his life to shit. Yeah. And he pulled a 180. Now every studio wants to work with this guy. What is wrong with giving somebody a chance? Come on. Okay, like OJ was found innocent, somebody say he doesn't have a career. Haha, fuck OJ. Sorry about I didn't say that. But like I'm gonna say about politics. You got one politician who willingly admitted to doing something before he was ever elected. He got kicked out of Congress. You got another Congress member who was caught following somebody in public, and this person's still in Congress. I'm like, get your priorities straight, people.
I got you. Let
There's
me ask you
yeah.
this
I'm sorry.
before. Yeah, go
Sorry.
ahead.
There are many different channels here on YouTube just jumping on the bandwagon, like you said last night. Especially this one call. I'm going to call them out. Emergency Awesomeness. These guys are
Mhm.
full of shit. They are clickbait everything. But when they came up with this video, I'm like, they're a little late to the show. Why are they pulling this video now? They actually stuck in back with Jonathan Myers, and I was surprised as hell. I'm like, wait a minute,
Mhm.
these guys are not going for click; they're going for what they actually feel, what they see the
Mhm.
evidence is, and they got
Mhm.
no repercussions whatsoever. They don't care about this. A huge
Mhm.
channel. They're
Mhm.
going on
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
saying this. I'm like, yeah, like hello.
I I got a new respect for them because they were pretty much on Jonathan Major's side from the beginning, and I've seen them put out a lot of videos for it, so that was good. I just want to say this to Dandelion real quick: is because Dandelion, with the evidence that we've seen, and I'm not gonna speak for everybody on this panel, but on a lot of panels, and the consensus is that he was innocent and he was basically railroaded. Danny, you wanted to go?
That is a crazy statement. I'm gonna be mad at the man because he was found guilty. I don't quite understand that question, but anyway, this particular situation, and y'all know my profession. I'm just feeling. I'm probably not going to spend my money in the foreseeable future on Marvel movies because that's the only real power that I have. I totally disagree with this verdict. I don't understand why it went from 12 to 6. I don't understand if his lawyer asked for a change of venue, why they didn't grant it. Um, my understanding is that reasonable doubt. There is more than enough information that I saw, and I didn't follow as closely like some people, to cause reasonable doubt. There is like almost a 2 minute clipping video footage of him running away from this woman. Uh, there was holes in the cop stories. There was holes in everything, every part of this. Some of the dots just not add up. So if the dots don't add up specifically, then you are supposed to find the individual not guilty. If you ask all questions and the question is, could this have happened the way he said it, and you say yes, then you must say not guilty. That's just how it is, point blank. But I think there were agendas in place. I think lessons were being taught. Maybe he was getting too big. Maybe some people didn't like the way he said when he was going off saying that he's a great man, he's this and that. Okay, it's not against the law to say you're a great man, to be braggadocious or be narcissist. It's against the law if you put your hand on somebody or you making threats and kind of stuff. I didn't see any of that stuff. Or it was a lot of he say, she said. It was a lot of inconsistencies in the cops' evidence, a lot of inconsistencies on what they said on the night, and then when it comes to court, they don't see that. So to me, the system definitely did not do him justice, in my opinion. And I have no other way of voicing my opinion other than not paying for Marvel stuff. Now, I'm going to sit here and tell you, I've already paid for Disney Plus, so when What If come out, I'm probably going to watch that. But the Marvel movies coming up now, until it change, I'm probably just not going to do it. I don't like the way they did this. I don't like it at all. I'm hoping that maybe some time will pass and they can rehire him in some capacity or something. But I think this is just totally unfair. And I may change later on down the road, but right now today, I don't see them getting my dollar.
And you know what's funny? You're convincing me of some things, but I'll get to that in a minute. Chris.
Well, I mean, I agree with a lot of what's been said. I think it's funny that the stuff that was like what they would call on purpose, like the aggravated assault and stuff that they found him not guilty of, that's because of the evidence they had. They couldn't convict him of that. So what they did is they basically said, we believe he did some of this stuff, but we have no proof that he did it because we didn't see it. But based on the story, we're going to believe it happened. That's almost what they did. And I don't think that's right. I do think that there's a chance, because Dan Lyon said something about appeal. I do think there's a chance for the appeal. I mean, if I were him, I definitely would. At least it will be seen someplace differently, more than likely.
Another attorney too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, possibly yes. I think there's some things you want to look at, but when I say this, it's not going to sound right. We've all done stupid stuff. If he is guilty of the 2 counts that they found him guilty on, if he is, they already said that they believe that it wasn't his intention to do what he did. That's basically what they said
On one of the charges, yeah.
Exactly. Is that enough to lose your job? I mean, you think about it. Mel Gibson's about ready to star in Lethal Weapon 5 and direct it. We've mentioned Robert Downey Jr. I saw your post, Enzo, about OJ.
Another example, Chris?
Yeah, go ahead.
We saw on national TV, Will Smith slapped the tar out of Chris Rock. He didn't get any charges. They could have pursued the charges even though Chris Rock didn't want to do it. They could have pursued those charges, but they didn't do it. And
again, that's why I still don't think it's real. But that's
we just saw him like he was ingratiated. Welcome back into the fold on the hip hop's 50th. He closed the showstopper. He closed the show, so it looked like he being forgiven, all kind of stuff.
Will Smith.
Well, you go with.
So Will Smith did all that. They get charged. Why are they so red hot to charge this man for something that was much less egregious?
Oh shoot, and I can't remember his last name. Woody Allen. You know,
Woody
he's
Allen.
had suspicious things. Um, oh shoot, oh god, no, I can't think of
Mike,
the director.
no, Mike Tyson.
Well, Mike Tyson. Yeah, I mean, think of all the stuff that he had gone through. What was the name of the director that?
James Gunn, you
Uh,
talking about?
m- no, no, well, him. No, the guy that Manson's family killed his wife.
Sharon Tate.
No, not her. What was her husband's name? The director.
Oh, Bogdanovich.
No,
Roman
no.
Polanski.
Oh, Polanski. Sorry.
Thank you, Roman Polanski.
Mhm.
Think of Roman Polanski. He is still on the run, yet he has directed films that have been released here in the United States.
Yeah.
He is on the run on federal charges.
But they're not major. This is the thing. I think everybody's.
No, wait. They're not major. We're talking about sexual acts
Yeah,
on
he's
a
messing with
minor.
little kids, bro. That's major.
That's not major. I'm
No,
just
wait,
saying.
no, hold on, no. What I'm saying, no, what I'm saying is, if the question is about like, I don't know if we're talking about two separate things, because one is the question about Marvel, like Danny said, he wouldn't support
Wait,
Marvel, but then the
no,
other
no,
one
no,
is
no.
about the court
Hold
case.
on,
Like,
let
I
him
understand
finish.
with the court case and all that stuff.
Let me. No, what I'm talking about here is this. When you look at all the different people out there in Hollywood, I mean, think about it this way. They're letting Rust, the production of Rust, I don't know if it started back up or not because of the strike, but the production where a person was died, I won't call it killed because it was unintentional, but
Right.
Alec Baldwin ended up shooting somebody who died on set, and they're going to start production back up on that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about all the stuff we see in Hollywood, and this part right here. This is the line. I find it really funny,
Well,
especially when you devoted a whole storyline to a character that this guy has literally made his own.
see,
I'm not going to say. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say the reason why we have that line is because it's a woman, all right? So that's what I just want to clarify.
But
Go ahead, Chris.
kids, like I said, Roman Polanski,
Yeah,
he had
yeah.
movies after he was charged. He had movies that were being shown at
What?
Sundance, and people raved about it and stuff like that. It's like, I'm just saying, I think especially with the way that what I read about him being found guilty, they basically said they don't believe he intended to do it. It just in the moment happened.
I'm gonna
That
say
to me
Is ridiculous.
is less egregious than I'm going to, you know what, bitch, I'm going to kick your ass and doing it. That's different. If he was protecting himself or something like that, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of things about this. I'm not really sure exactly where this is going to go, but I would definitely look at appeal. I'm not going to necessarily ban Marvel from anything. That's not going to change anything on there. It's not going to make a difference to the studio. They're going to be going forward no matter what. I would just hope that they can get a few movies out that don't need to have him in it, and they can all sit down and talk, or something can happen where they decide to do something different, where they go forward with it.
Cool.
I
Danny, you
don't.
were gonna say something? Oh, go ahead, Chris. You're still talking.
Just the last thing I said. I don't ever watch a movie or like an actor because of who they are in real life or in public. That is not why I like an actor. I like an actor because of what he does for a part.
I got you. Danny, you were gonna say something before JT goes?
I just think that some things just resonate and touch people differently. I think y'all know me. I don't know what it is, but it's just something this is just not sitting well with me. And
Mm-hmm.
and coming on here is making 50 videos is not going to change it. But in my mind, like if someone, like for instance, if they don't like a particular candidate, they don't vote for them or whatever, or they choose not to vote. And they mind that one vote may or may not. So my $10, it ain't gonna hurt, but I'm not gonna.
I got you.
At this particular point, and if 100 people maybe in South Carolina feel like that, then 100 people in California, 100 people in Maine, 100 people in Kansas City, whatever the case may be. I mean, I don't know. It ain't sitting well with me, and That's one thing that I can do from an individual standpoint. Is it going to hurt Marvel? Not a bit. But right now, I don't
Look,
care.
I got you, JG.
You know, I think it was Chris that mentioned Roman Polanski.
Chris is just
Even though he
out.
did everything he did, we still, well, most of us still watch Rosemary's Baby, right? R. Kelly, even though he did what we did, we still listen to his music. This right here, boycotting the MCU, whatever, it makes no sense. They're still going to make their money, right? They tried to do this thing with T'Challa, or recasting him. People were talking about boycotting Black Panther or Wakanda Forever. It didn't work. So this right here is just something that I guess somebody can get for likes. Somebody can get some recognition and say, "Hey, I'm the one that started the ban Marvel thing." You know, it makes no sense. And I do feel sorry for Jonathan Majors, but I was watching. I hate to say it, but Roland Martin. He had a defense attorney on there with him. I'm not a fan of him, but one thing she said was, "It's very unusual, given the evidence that was there, that it would go to trial, especially for that long. But when you want to go to trial to clear your name and a jury is involved, I always expect that it may not go in your favor, even with the evidence that should prove your innocence."
Yeah, that's the thing. And to that point, I would say
Yeah, but
this. I think a lot of things are going to depend also on what the sentencing is.
Yeah.
it's kind of like a double-edged sword because, say, for instance, you settle, then people are going to say, "Oh, he settled, so he must have been guilty because he don't want this." Then if he plea and he didn't do it, then he's admitting guilt. So his only chance, they back you kind of into a corner. Your only chance you got to prove yourself of innocence is go there and roll the dice,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah, and you know what? I'm right there with you, Danny. I'm like, you know what? This is starting to. It always has, right? And when I seen the guilty verdict, I was like, shit, like this guy's career is done because of this woman. But I also, when I texted you, I was like, I don't think banning Marvel because everybody's everybody jumped. His PR company, they dropped his movie, Magazine Dreams, but that was Disney too. But
How
you know,
long
they
did
didn't put that
they?
out.
I think it was like the same day, wasn't it?
Well, how no? How long
9 months.
was it before they brought? No, I'm talking about how long was it before they brought James Gunn back?
Oh,
Oh, I
two
don't
years,
remember.
I
about
think.
9 months.
No, it was
Yeah, I
probably
mean,
no, because he went away and he
there's
made
still a lot of stuff that happens here.
I think it was like 8 to 9 months.
no.
There's still a
I'll
lot of
look it.
stuff that could happen here.
Right.
What?
So, yeah, go
And
ahead,
that
Danny.
honestly, that wasn't the same. That was like those are
That was a
tweets. This
that was a
isn't like
pit. That was a picture or something.
yeah.
A picture that you saw that wasn't, I guess, what he
Yeah.
said it with.
Well, still, I don't know because I'm with you. I'm with Anjo and Danny on this. There's a lot of things that I was just sitting there saying that doesn't seem right. Like I said, when I read the what he did get convicted of, it was the way that it was worded. It was like they don't believe that he did anything intentionally, but they
Let me.
do believe he did something.
It was July
It's like,
2018. He was fired, and then March 2019 he was reinstated. So a
okay,
year.
yeah, I mean,
You
all right,
said July and
but
March. That ain't a year.
July
that's 8 months.
2018 and
Eight
March
months.
2019.
Yeah,
Eight
so that's
months.
August. About 8 months.
I was gonna say the only thing I could
But
see the jury looking at was those text messages when Jonathan's basically telling her, "Hey, don't go to the hospital," and all that
But that
stuff.
had nothing to do. Yeah, that
I
wasn't
know it had
anything with.
nothing to do, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. They
I'm sure we've all at one point in time
Mhm.
served on the jury, or at least close to it. And I remember because I've done it 3 times, and it was a case similar to this, where it was some messages kind of like that, and the way the prosecution worded it. And again, and it goes back to this show I watched where he says, "Hey, the defense tells their side, the prosecution tells their side, and the jury decides who tells the best story."
And they also tell you how you should interpret it, and that kind of
Exactly.
like oh yeah, just listen to this part, but don't acknowledge that part or whatever. And then your brain is like, well, why shouldn't I acknowledge that part too? And it makes you even think even more than that, and that could be what they did. Exactly what you said. Yeah.
Let me,
And one
It's
thing I
not.
saw was
let
I'm
me
sorry, I
pose
was
a
going to say
question.
when they went the vehicle, I heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but they show what happened in the vehicle without the audio.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Everything
So they
everything
could
they
tell
showed
whatever
had
story
no
they want to tell, right?
everything they showed had no audio. Even the cops supposedly trying to get her to say that he strangled her, there's no audio in that. And I could bring that up in a minute. Danny, go ahead. You were gonna ask a question?
I just say, for instance, this is like one of the biggest channels on YouTube, Khaos Central, and one of us did something and went on trial, and we talked backstage and said, "Hey, look, I ain't did this, Anzo. I didn't do this, Chris. I didn't do this. I go to court, trial. I'm found guilty, and then we gotta let you go. I'm gonna feel some kind of way
Yeah.
because I could, because
I
y'all
think
could,
that they're.
because
But
let's
Danny,
just say it's Chris and me and Anzo.
Hold on.
I'm gonna make a look on such and such. Chris was charged with this, this, and this. I've talked to Chris. I've known Chris for X amount of years. I believe he didn't do this, and this is why. Blah 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 blah. I go into we write down something that we all three agree upon. We put it out in a public service, now whatever you want to call it, and I'm gonna hang with him.
But see, is Chaos Central a publicly traded company, or are they on their
well,
own?
I'm
that's not the point he's trying to make. But Danny, let me ask you a question. What you
his.
said you just made? Would it be easier to find out that you got fired, you got let go of the show after you got found guilty, or when the charges were announced? This is what Marvel
I think
did.
that's the big thing. I think that's right there the biggest thing. I
It,
agree with Anzo.
all I'm
They
saying is,
stuck with him throughout the whole thing. But if you went ahead and stuck with him the whole thing, I guess the strong way to do things is Marvel should just sit there and say, you know what? We
my,
understand this happened. We've had a talk with Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors has told us that he plans to exonerate his name and that he plans to appeal this. And we will stick by the actor until he
no,
decides.
my point is, I hear what you're saying, Chris. My point
Mhm.
is, if the evidence was overwhelming and it was clear cut, there is no way that I was innocent. That's a horse of a different color. But if the evidence was as had as many holes, plot holes, whatever we want to use,
I know.
like this one have, there ain't no way.
Hmm.
There is no, and I done
Well,
sunk
no.
that much money into him, and the evidence is not overwhelming, saying that Jonathan Majors did this, and he was. Let's say he got charged 7 or 8, and he only got charged 2, and the 2 are really flimsy. If you read last, we were on the
I know.
other thing,
Yeah.
we read what the New York um, assault second. It is really, really flimsy,
It
really
is. I know.
flimsy.
Mhm.
That's what I was saying
I
is,
just
is the
wouldn't do
two
it.
that the two that he was found guilty of are basically saying, well, we don't really have any evidence saying you did this, but we believe by the way the things that we heard during the trial, we believe that it probably did. But they
How
don't
many
have
charges
proof.
were there? How many charges were there
For
total? Four?
Four.
he
Yeah.
had so the
True.
two major ones were aggravated assault and aggravated or intentional battery or whatever,
Mhm.
and they found him not guilty on the two.
That is
Go ahead,
correct.
Anzo. What you're doing?
Oh, so this is the video. Chill sent it to me, and there's no audio in any of these videos, but you
Hmm.
can clearly see that the cop is motioning to his neck, basically trying
Hmm.
to either coax her into saying it, or you know what I mean. So
So why was audio omitted?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
We'll
Well,
see.
And
see,
that's
there's the other
Axon.
thing.
We use that same style, Axon.
Yeah, well, and Danny, you can probably attribute this. Do you guys have body cams on across the
Yes,
board now?
you got
Okay.
you
This
you
is
gotta have
where
it.
was this at?
New York.
Yeah, New York's had them for years. So what? Where's that? That right there is the big. There's a lot of factors
That
in this that make
that's
me
why I
wonder.
blame his attorney
Why is there no sound to that?
Yeah, the
because
audio is
because the
cut.
attorney is crazy.
I don't understand why the judge didn't allow any sound on any of those videos. So
Yeah.
when they first get into the house and they see Jabari lying on the floor, there's no sound. This video that we seen is 24 minutes. You guys can go watch it if you want to. And
Hmm.
there's no sound throughout the whole video.
That's
I don't
intentional.
understand why that
That is
happened.
intentional because the way it reads, if you have a well, the way our policy is, if you have a malfunctioning mic,
Yep.
you supposed to write a report
Yep.
and turn it in and saying that mic 105 is not working. And you're not even supposed to have it on.
Hmm.
hmm
Even and if it's a
You know,
car
it's
camera, you're not even supposed to have the camera in there. If you find out your equipment
yeah.
is malfunction, you're supposed to take it out right there that same night and write
Yep.
a report why it's not in there. Or you'll get into
Yeah.
another patrol car, the equipment's working. So why they're not doing that and New York's supposed to be such a stickler to that right there
hmm
is bull crap.
Well,
So
and I watch a lot of these, different police cam and different videos
Hmm.
on YouTube and others where, and I have seen so many where like police officers have been stopped, and the first thing they'll try to do is tell the other cop, "Hey, turn off the body cam, turn it off." And what's funny is most of the ones I see, the guy goes, "No, I can't do that."
You can't do
It,
that.
it,
If
it,
you
No.
find
it's
out,
like, well, I know that, I
you're
know
going to
that,
jail
but
too.
what I'm saying is it just seems I'm with you guys on this. There's just something about this. It's like what, and then what the crazy thing about this is ask the question though is why him then? Why are they doing it to him? Who did he piss off?
Well, you
is it?
see now. Yeah, go ahead, Mike. You go
Well,
ahead
no,
because
I
I
just
want to
have a
say something real
question.
quick.
This all started because she took his cell phone. Is there
Yes.
any sort of like, not repercussions, but like, I mean, she literally stole something from him, took something that she shouldn't have. Like, she's the one that set this off by taking the
Yes.
cell phone, and that's how this
Yes.
all started. So why isn't she
Well, and that's
culpable
what.
somewhat for that?
Domestic partnership. It's basically joint custody of that.
Oh, okay.
Well, and
I don't know
that's
about
basically
that.
why they
And
say that they believe that he didn't intend to actually
Hmm,
assault her, but he did in the process of trying to get the
the
phone
phone.
back. So is that assault or is that just, hey,
Give me my shit
I'm
back.
trying to get my stuff back?
Yeah.
and that's
And
the
they,
thing. That's what a lot of people are saying, that the defense, his defense didn't talk about that in the trial. Didn't mention that, the reason why this has happened is because she tried to take his property from him. He was fighting to
Hmm.
get his property back. And Danny, you said that there is an amount of pressure, some force you can use to get your property back, right?
I don't know what the domestic violence laws in North Carolina because I mean in New York because this aggravated assault and stuff, it has no teeth in it and it's just
mhm.
I don't
Well,
understand it, bro. I don't
there's
think
acceptable force in a lot of different situations.
no, not really. If you put your hands on somebody and they say it, that's usually assault, be it
Well,
simple or usually a simple assault, aggravated assault, and then like assault and battery, and then assault and high and aggravated nature. It goes up to different levels. But when you physically put your hand on somebody and they don't want you to put your hand there, technically by the letter of the law, that's assault.
uh-huh.
Gotcha.
But it's hard to
So even
prove if it's marriage or relationship sometimes because it's just how the officer can articulate, and it's how that particular judge and that particular prosecutor how they because a prosecutor's office in every state has a lot of power because they can pick and choose these cases they want. This was a high profile case,
absolutely.
black and white, and this is going to get a lot of publicity. That
Mhm.
prosecutor might be even up for election. So if you go behind and do your research, this might be an election year, and those prosecutors they get elected. And if they go in there and they took down some big fish, that's sure to garner them some votes. So I don't know. It's disturbing to me this particular case.
Last night I played a video with Pierre Chaudry, his lawyers, but she was talking about another case. But of course, it had to do with this same DA, which is Alvin Briggs, and she did say that elections are coming up, right? She also said that he surrounded himself with people that don't look like us, and they thought that they would have a black man in the DA's office that would look out for other black men, and he doesn't. He's doing the total opposite. So what I'm saying is, like,
You
even
forgot to
though,
add, Anzi, you forgot to add the 80% of his constituents are white.
yeah, exactly, right. So I like to say, like, it's like say, yeah, let's blame Marvel for firing him, and I understand why Marvel had to do it. But the people we really need to blame are the ones that I said fuck you to earlier. Those are the ones to blame. The DA's office, Grace Jabari, right? And the cops, like you said, that were on the stand. And not all cops, we know that, but the two that were on the stand that twisted the information and lied on the stand, those are the ones who we should have our anger with. Another thing I want to say to Danny's point where he said he doesn't want to go see them because he doesn't want to spend his money, and that's what he can do. That's one thing we could do. But another thing, what I said to do is go on Netflix and Prime or whatever and watch a Jonathan Majors movie. Right, get one of his movies, get his movies trending again. Let people know that we or Lovecraft Country, 100%. Let people know that we are supporting him and we're still gonna watch his stuff regardless. You know what I mean? So that's the whole thing. It's just I think that this whole thing is a shit show, 100%.
I
And
don't.
Well,
I would like to see how the judge explained to them how they're supposed to come to the verdict, because if you get any doubt of
mhm,
what the prosecutor presents, it has to be not guilty.
I would expect the hung jury
That
would come back.
it has to be. If you say, it might have did that, not guilty. But if you go back there and you
facts.
say, yep, he did that, I feel in my soul, my spirit, everything's pointing to that, then that's when you say guilty. And there's no way nobody intelligent or not prejudiced or got some kind of agenda or was directed or something paid off. I don't know what it is. But you can't sit here and tell me six intelligent people that's not prejudiced, got an open mind, saw that evidence and came back with guilty. I don't believe it.
But see, it's like JG said though, Danny. It's like that's the story they were trying to put over. So I agree with you, and it's there. It's not like they needed recollection from whatever we saw the videos and stuff like that. But it's whatever narrative that they were telling.
And
It's.
let me make this statement. Any other time they say cops is crooked and they don't believe us and want to hang us. Now this time they want to believe it.
You know what I'm saying?
When you clearly see that the cops ain't did something right, and I'm a cop,
But you
and I did, but man, if you ain't doing something right, I don't care. You need to be punished, whatever. But any other time, if these cops would have done something by the book, they would have let them off. But they
It's
see
not
stuff
the
ain't quite right, and they still put this. Oh,
And you
it's
want to
not the
know what
group,
the
it's
hold on, Eli,
individuals.
hold on, Eli, hold on, Eli. You want to know what the fucking worst part about it is, though, Danny? If you go online and you try to search up what those cops said on the stand, you cannot find it anymore. It's not there because I was having a debate with somebody on Twitter, and I was like, "Hold on, let me go find the information for you." And I'm like, "Wait a minute." Where the fuck is the cop information? Like, where is the cop information of what the cop said on the stand? And it is not there. They are hiding a lot of information from people who are going to read these articles. That is why, Shifty, I cursed out Variety because they are the number one that is doing that. They are the number one publication that has put hit piece after hit piece after hit piece on Jonathan Majors, and a lot of the stuff they said were not true. They were the first ones that came out and started talking about the 40 other accusers, which we haven't heard shit from yet. It was
Anzo,
well,
Variety.
As a Canadian, you can request a FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, about court transcripts. If they are unsealed,
yeah.
if the judge has sealed them, you
If they see
cannot.
it, you can't. That's right.
Yeah, but as a Canadian citizen, you can request a FOIA.
That's
uh,
interesting.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I know, but I had to mention that.
I think
But I also do think that there are some things in that case that were sealed.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
in what?
In this whole case.
Jonathan Majors case.
Oh yeah, probably. Now
Yeah.
I think that a lot of the arguments that the lawyer didn't make, that's grounds for appeal. I think again, the exact way that I read it, and I think even Danny insinuated this, is that the two charges he was found guilty on are literally found guilty based off of the well, it could have happened. I mean, it's like saying that, I could throw a baseball outside with a friend of mine for 2 weeks, and then one day somebody comes into their living room, there's a baseball, it came through the window, and they can come after me sue me. And then people are like, well, he was outside playing baseball. So yeah, it was probably him.
And
He could have been, maybe, but and that's kind of how these charges came across. Was like, well, maybe, but and I think, and I think, Anzo, you have a good point. Is this public opinion here is where he really needs to look to keep public opinion. If public
Mhm.
opinion stays mostly on his side, think of Johnny Depp, for instance. People stuck by Johnny Depp and stuck by Johnny Depp no matter what was said out there. And eventually that did come out. Now, what that does for him and his career, we'll have to see, because I'm not sure if he's fully on board to come back and do major projects. I mean, he may not be, but he has paved his way and he stuck to his guns long enough that he has that option again. He will get that option again if he wants.
And you know what? I'm beginning, and I hate to say it, but I'm beginning to, not that I hate to say it, I hate to say it because of what I'm thinking about doing, but I'm beginning to think about, yo, these are fucking misdemeanor charges. Like, we're not talking about something that's fucking, you know what I mean, life threatening. Plus, one of the charges was reckless aggravated assault, which means that she got hurt not intentionally. So they're
Yeah.
basically saying it was a reckless assault, right? So it wasn't intentional as to why he got that charge. So at the
What he
end of the
did was
day,
accidental.
yes. So at the end of the day, Danny's right. Like, does this guy need to lose his career for that reason?
No, but I think what you said about the articles that are out there and other things like that, they're painting it. And again,
Yeah.
I preface this with saying I'm not saying that what he was accused of is inconsequential. I'm not going to say that it's not a bad thing. But if it sometimes shit happens, and you know what, he's already kind of said, hey, it was a bad situation all around.
Mm-hmm. Danny, you brought something up there. What you got?
That's the harassment, aggravated harassment in the second degree in New York, right there. The person guilty of aggravated harassment in the second degree when the intent to harass another person communicates anonymously or otherwise by telephone, computer, or other electronic means, or by mail. Let's see what else.
But he was found not guilty on that.
I thought this one he was found guilty on. We read it last.
No, in all the aggravated stuff, he was found not guilty on. It was simple. I don't know. I agree with you though, Danny. A lot of these rules are very broad. I thought he was all the aggravated stuff he was found not guilty on.
See, I don't want to go online and find it because it's just going to be like, oh, but I do have it somewhere.
I would get me another attorney.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I think his current attorney in a press release stated that Mr. Majors looks forward to exonerating his name. So to me, that sounds like they're going to go forward again. I don't disagree with you, though, Danny. I think this is the case with a lot of people. Even if you feel like your defense attorney did a decent to good job, going in with a different defense attorney or at least somebody else on the defense team is a much smarter move. One, if even if he keeps his current defense attorney, finding another defense attorney to argue it in court, not the same guy. That's one thing right there.
I go get that guy that played in the burial.
I never seen that movie yet, but I'm definitely gonna check it out. But hold on, I'm trying to find out if I can find out where his charges are. Because at the end of the day, right, I understand, the perception to women. We can't be doing that to women, and I get it. But when you watch that video, though, like, how are you the aggressor when you're running away? How? You know what I mean?
I don't know about the laws there, but I explained this last night. I think I was on. But this is how it works where I'm at. You have to, when you go to a domestic violence call, we are taught to look for something called the primary aggressor. We review all the facts. We separate both parties. One officer talks to one, the other officer talks to the other one. and we try to figure out what was the thing that the powder keg, that the spark that kicked this off. You find out the spark that kicked it off, that is the primary aggressor. But if you can't find out what that spark is, there's a series of questions that you must ask. Like, was this your first time ever being there? If you leave here without arresting somebody, you think that somebody may be in mortal danger. If there are witnesses there, is this a reoccurring pattern? If you say yes to any of those things, in the past, the person that's been the primary aggressor, that's usually who we are taught that we make the arrest on. But if you can't determine that, you have to write a detailed report saying why you couldn't determine who the primary aggressor is. Both of them are arrested and transported. Once they get to the detention center, the next day they go in front of the judge, or that same day, depending on the time of day. And the judge supposed to have a hearing, and he listens to the whole thing that happened, videos, whatever. He asks questions, and then he determines who the primary aggressor is. Once he determines who the primary aggressor is, then the other person is to be released, and the primary aggressor to be charged. That's how that
Yeah.
goes down. I don't know what happens in New York or other states, but it works.
Who knows?
It don't work perfect here, but it's in place. It's in law. I can show it to you. It's in law. So why they don't
It
go to
was
these steps, I don't understand.
it was aggravated harassment. He was found not guilty on. He was found guilty on reckless. Oh shoot, reckless.
Endangerment.
No, aggravated something, right?
No, it wasn't aggravated. It was
Is it reckless
reckless.
assault?
Yes, reckless assault, third degree, and a non-criminal charge of harassment. So he
Yes.
technically only has one charge
Mhm.
that they will be able to um, give him any time on, which they're not going to give him time. This is the only um, thing he has on his record. Another thing right there, it's like, I think we've said it many times. There's been many people in Hollywood that people have given um, a second chance to. I mean, Pee Wee Herman. Think about Pee Wee Herman. I know he just died, but Pee Wee Herman had multiple times that he had lewd acts, and not questionable. Lots of people saw this, and he was able to keep his career. People still knew who he was, and listen to what they said when he died. People still loved the guy.
He's still rock. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like, that Hollywood seems to be able to look the other way on a lot of stuff, but this one time,
Well,
I'm reading
Danny.
it right here, and it says
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
person is guilty of assault in the third degree reckless assault with three different criteria. One, with intent to cause physical injury to another person, he causes such an injury to such a person or to a third person, or he recklessly
wait,
causes physical harm to another person, or with criminal negligence, he causes physical injury to another person by means of a deadly weapon or a dangerous instrument. He didn't have a deadly weapon or a dangerous instrument.
No.
well,
But
and
I
you
think
even
where they're
said
getting
with intent, and they
right,
even said
right.
in the charges they didn't think he intended to do it.
Yeah, yeah. So if
But
you can't prove intent, then you can't. This right here, and this is the closing argument I would have used if I was the defense, if I was his attorney. I'd be like, look, you ever know the game Monopoly? Everybody knows the game Monopoly. That you got to buy all of the color schemes in order to build a hotel. And you can't build a hotel unless you got four houses. If you ain't got all four houses, you can't build a hotel. If you don't have all the criteria in the statute, you can't charge them. That's just it.
facts.
If you ain't got all the statutes, you cannot build a hotel. They ain't had all the criteria in the statute, so they should not have found this man guilty. I would have used that, and they would have been like, duh.
I think where they got him on the charge is when he puts her back into the van, right? He literally picks her up and puts her back into the van. And that's where they're saying supposedly she could have injured herself. But we also see videos of her a couple hours later partying, fixing her hair, using both fingers, both hands on both fingers that are supposed to be injured.
Yeah, but the key thing is
Scrolling on
saying
her
intent.
phone.
How can they prove intent and he putting her back in the car? How can they prove on a shadow of doubt that he intended to hurt her? You can't do it without a statement.
Exactly.
Without him saying, "Yeah, I intended to or something you call an excited utterance. If you don't get your ass back in this car, or if they got that on camera or on video, then that's a slam dunk. But if you ain't got excited utterance, you can't do it. You have to prove
Facts.
intent.
Facts, 100%. And that's the thing. It seems to me, and I know he's going to appeal, right? But the damage is done. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
you can't
Like
unring
you
a
can,
bell.
and even
You
when,
can't
yeah,
calculate the millions this man done lost.
facts, facts. And even when he does appeal, and if he gets off on the appeal, because that's not even, it's not even guaranteed that he's not going to do jail time, right? We think he's not. We're like, he shouldn't do jail time, but we also thought he should have got off as well.
When did this incident first happen?
March 25th.
Okay,
But when would it actually go to
so
court?
March,
When it,
December is what? April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 9 months. I guarantee
Yes.
this appeal will take more than 9 months.
Yes.
I guarantee
It took,
it'll take years.
It took about 9 months for them to go to court with this.
And
Yes.
what are you gonna do in them years? If he ain't saving his
Facts.
money, he might be broke.
That's what I was saying, Danny. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, yo, like we gotta not act like this guy's not gonna. He has no income now, right? They dropped everything, so
Well,
even if, yeah, go ahead.
Unless he had a smart agent and he got royalties or something like that, or he got maybe a piece of. But I guarantee you, they probably we can carry his merchandise in the
His
stores
shit.
now.
Yeah, absolutely. You were gonna say?
oh no,
Chris?
that's the biggest problem right there. I was just gonna say, I think again, you guys just got done explaining it. The whole inability to prove intent. They said, they even, like I said, they said we don't think he meant to. Well, then it's got to be something else. I mean, again, okay. So what you were saying earlier about, I said reasonable force. I don't think that was the right term, really. What I meant is, if somebody takes your phone, the first thing you're going to do is try to grab the phone back. If
Yep. You don't
they
intentionally
hold it away
hurt
from
him.
you, and you, what?
I say if somebody grab your phone, it's not your intent to hurt them to get it back. It's a natural reflex to grab at
Well,
it or whatever.
that's what I'm going to say is that if you go to grab for it, they back away and like pull it back to keep you from getting it, and then in the process of doing that, you go and you smack them across the face or hit them, and they say, "Hey, he hit me." Well,
You're
I didn't.
roboting,
That's
Chris.
not what I was doing. I was grabbing for my phone. Your
Facts.
actions, therefore, unintentionally made me do that. And that's kind of what I heard in what they said. It's like, we don't think he meant to do it. Well, so then what you're saying is you think that he, in the process of trying to do something, things happened. And it was not his intent to do that. And that's where
They
I find it funny that he's found guilty on this. I'm not
they
saying
added
that he
that
didn't
charge.
possibly, hands didn't get put on her. I'm not going to say that didn't happen, but I don't think it was his intent to go out and do something to her intentionally.
And if they don't have intent, bro, they can't put the hotel on the.
And that's exactly, and that's what the way you put it was that
His
that
girlfriend.
monopoly right there. That's perfect.
JG, you've been quiet. What are your thoughts? His girlfriend, Dandelion.
Well, I'm gonna go back to. I'm gonna keep harping on this. The text messages and the voice recording. I can almost guarantee the prosecution was hammering that over and over and over. So, like I said, we all agree is that Jonathan Majors. I mean, you reach for my phone. Of course, my natural instinct to, hey, what you trying to do? Get away, get away. I'm gonna push you back, or I'm gonna do something. And at his size, and how small she is, see, he's a big black guy. That she's only like 100 pounds sucker. Where look, he used all his strength to push her back. They're going to use any type of thing they can, right? And with the text, don't go to the hospital. You don't know how this may look on me. Oh, baby, I will lie for you
Well,
so you don't get in trouble. Look, let me finish.
Hold
I
on.
will lie for you so you don't get in trouble. The voicemail. How do they try? How you think they try to make it look? He's belittling her, saying that she will basically never be the stature of these women that he needs by his side. So you're showing that it's a possibility that there was some physical abuse. There's a possibility of some mental abuse as well that may be belittling her. The prosecution is going to use anything they can, which is their right to do. So my thing is, what the hell was the defense attorneys doing?
collecting that check.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't really know what they're doing. Mike, your thoughts?
Mike
Okay,
sell a
Mike.
comic book. He ain't trying to
So
talk to us.
yeah, that's right. I think you might have won. So first, let me say this because we talked about grabbing the phone, right? I can't show because you guys won't see it, but hold on. Okay, so you see right around here, it's a little bit
Uh-oh.
darker.
Uh-oh.
I was with my son's mother, and I tried to grab her phone, and she bit me, and I have a permanent bite mark on my hand because of that. Right. So when you try to grab someone's phone, you gotta expect the consequences of what's happening. You are grabbing something that doesn't belong to you. You have no rights to it whatsoever. So if you're gonna fight to get your phone back, it's your property.
But
You
is
know what I
that?
mean?
But does that warrant an assault?
No, I don't think so. No, 100% no, it doesn't. But
If
that's what they got
uh,
him for.
Anzo, if you looked at my comment earlier, I've watched that video a couple of times about him getting in the car and running. Yes, he did push her away. Why? Because she put his hands on him. He
Yes,
shoved and ran. That's the
yes.
only pushing I've seen. That's the only laying of the hands I've seen was her hands on him. He shoved and ran. Yes, he shoved her. Why? To get away.
Create
But
distance.
like I said, no audio. They can tell whatever story they want to tell.
I'm not
Yeah.
listening. I'm looking at visual. I didn't need audio for that. I just need
Yeah,
to
but
look at visual.
Oh
But
my
like Daddy
God.
said, it's what you can prove, what you can't prove.
And here's the problem with the no
Uh,
audio. It what it's doing is it's taking away something that could be critical evidence to this case, right? And I don't understand why. And I think actually I think I know why she probably didn't fight for it. Because at the beginning of the trial, and this is where I think she's made mistakes, they had some documents that were sealed, and it was Jonathan Major's team that didn't want this information to come out because they were saying that it could be detrimental to his career. She ended up going and questioning Jabari about something that opened up the door for them to now use those documents. And that's why all of that recording and all of that stuff came out because the lawyer went on and opened up the door for that.
Well, you know
But
what?
what? Yeah.
You just made a good point. I didn't thought about. Maybe why there's no audio because maybe they made a pre-trial motion that just for that very same reason. Look, you can show the
Hmm.
video, but you can't show the audio because it's gonna be something that's gonna be detrimental to Mr. Major's career. So that the
Hmm.
defense attorney may have had why we don't get any audio because cause something that was said might be misconstrued and might would do more damage than just the video itself.
Danny, I think the audio of him with the egotistical rant was detrimental enough, but it had nothing to do with the
But
case.
Yeah,
right, but that.
but that goes
Go ahead, though.
again. I'm sorry, Anzo.
No,
That
no, go
goes
ahead.
again. It's not a crime to be an asshole
No, it's not.
or narcissistic. So the judge should explain that when he's explaining to the jury, okay, you can weigh this on this, and this carries this kind of weight. The judge is supposed to explain to them the weight of each particular piece of evidence or what they can factor in and what they can't factor on. He the judge
yeah,
the judge can guide them to a certain point of view more so than anybody else there. Yeah, you can do this or you can do that, or if something is said in the court that shouldn't be said, then a lot of times they'll call for a recess, excuse the jury, and the judge will make points. Look, Attorney Biggaford, you couldn't do that. Attorney Knight, you can't do this. So we're gonna strike this from the record, and you're gonna do this, and
yeah.
then that's when Knight, Chris, and Anzo say, "Well, Judge, based on court case 156 back in 19 whatever, back then it was Danny versus whatever, and based on that precedence, I want to sequester this because of ABC 123. A lot of these things
Yeah.
why we ain't seeing stuff, I guarantee you, if you go back and pull the court record, it's pretrial motions made. And like Lonzo just said, I just thought about that. That might be why we didn't hear some of this audio. Because if that
That
audio was
could be.
damning, that defense attorney like, nope, we'll
So
play the
would you
video, but we ain't playing the audio.
would you say if that was the case that now that since this is already done what it's done to his career, would you just go ahead and say no? We need to hear what those cops are saying,
I,
what's
I,
being said about that stuff.
I'll do that maybe, and then I would make sure I was in there for the jury strikes and be like, I want
Yeah,
him. I don't want him because I think each person gets 6 strikes, if I'm not mistaken. I
Yeah,
don't want her.
and
I
then
don't want him. I want this. There's no way, based on what
did
I've heard, the makeup of the jury. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't agree
yeah
for that.
did you also say that you would have thought maybe doing this as a judge trial would have been a better option?
I didn't say that, but maybe
Oh,
it
I
would.
wasn't sure.
It depends on. You got to do your research on these judges.
Yeah.
There's some that's more favorable. You try and wait for them, get them, or I would have definitely tried to change the venue. There's no way I would have tried it there. I'd have tried somewhere else.
Absolutely. You see, I have and Chill has interviewed her. Let me bring it up real quick. Her name is Danny Does Laws. She's actually sat in on the court cases. So and she actually pretty much broke it down. So I'm trying to find where she starts from day one. Hold on. Let me go here. Jonathan Mayer, when his driver from the night of the alleged attack. Okay, hold on. See, this is from Witness 9. The police officer, Officer Amnesia, did recall helping Jabari write the domestic incident report. He wrote the first page of a half, and she wrote the rest and recalled accompanying her to Bellevue. So that's something that's never brought up. Something else that's never brought up is at the beginning, she testified under oath that Jonathan Majors has never laid a hand on her before. And I'm trying to find that. So we have all of that information. I just don't understand how he still got found guilty.
Well, yeah, and like I said, I think this has a lot of the hallmarks of an appeal. I just this seems like you could walk in and say, listen, it was tried in a place where the law is not very well defined, and they did not find him guilty. See, the only problem here, and let me bring this up. The biggest problem for him with an appeal is then he's appealing the whole thing. He's appealing the not guilty and the guilty.
Mm-hmm.
And so he can be retried on the harsher offenses. Now, it does bode well for him that he's been found not guilty already. But that will be brought back into play. So that's the hardest part about all that.
Yeah, but that's double jeopardy, Chris.
No, it isn't. No, because you're not. Here's the thing. He was charged with 4 charges in one trial. You appeal not just the not guilty charges. You're appealing the guilty charges. You have to appeal all the charges because this is all heard at one time. So when you appeal it, basically it says, fine, none of this counts. We're going back. We're going to try it again. And then you get a new verdict.
Yeah. Well,
and that is the biggest problem. And that's a lot of the reason why, and this does not have to do with him necessarily, but, certain people who are found guilty of manslaughter and not, first degree murder will just stay with the manslaughter because they know that another jury could find them guilty of first degree murder.
Yeah.
So it is a double-edged sword all the way around. I think it bodes well for him that he was found not guilty, but it is something he has to think about.
I agree, but I think at the end of the day, I think he should. You know what I mean? Because, like Danny said, like no telling when and if his career will ever get back on track. Right now, we've seen the redemption story, which will be good if that happens. But at the end of the day, what, a year, 2 years, 3 before he's actually able to act again? He can't make money until then.
Yeah. Well, he has to find somebody. Okay, going back to Robert Downey Jr., he's going to have to find the Mel Gibson in that story. I think it was Mel Gibson that that wanted him in a movie that his production crew was on, and they couldn't get the insurance. And Mel Gibson put the money out there and said, "Fine, I'll insure him myself." And he's gonna have to find somebody there. And you know what? That's the thing. I mean, you can talk all the crap you want about somebody like Mel Gibson, but these people have both sides of them in there. They do stupid stuff, and yet they'll do stuff that, hey, look, that guy really believed in this person. I think he can find somebody. Now, it'd be nice if Marvel would be that person. Listen, we're going to stand by him. We know he's going to appeal. We're going to stand by him until he decides he's done fighting. And at that point in time, we will then reevaluate what's going on.
They can always rehire him.
They can, but what I'm saying is that they should be staying by his side right now and just say, listen, look, our law department came to us and said, hey, this is really flimsy stuff here. And this isn't even the bad stuff. I mean, this isn't the aggravated harassment. This isn't this. And kind of like what Danny said, this isn't even the bad stuff on this. And even this wasn't all that bad of charges compared to what some people are hit with. I mean,
Ezra Miller.
Yeah, I mean, so you definitely have to look at this and go like, you would love to think somebody out there would be like, you know what, I'm going to stand by his side. I mean, it'd be nice if Johnny Depp would come out and go like, hey, I know what it's like to be, ridiculed and people already seal your fate. But, if he says he didn't do it, I would tend to believe he didn't do this.
Absolutely.
Just those things being said right now are probably the most important thing for him. Will he get a job back for him right away? Probably not. But the more public opinion stays on his side, the better it'll be.
I think majority of the public is on his side, so that's a good thing. I was gonna ask, do you think that I completely forgot the question I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask something about you know what I mean? I know it has something to do with Marvel.
Which direction do you think Marvel's going?
We could do that. Which direction? What does Marvel do now?
Going down, down, down. If I'm James Gunn, John Stewart.
Goodbye. No DC slander over here.
DC slander. That was Marvel slander.
MC slander.
You're right. No DC slander. You're correct.
No Marvel slander. Go ahead. What do you think Marvel should do? And do you think DC should pick him up?
I think James Gunn, for what they did with him, he should be understanding and be like, "Hey, I got you, buddy. Come over here. I got a role for you."
Mike? Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna say, it seems like roles are leading towards Fantastic Four. It may not get there the way we think it should, but they'll get there. You heard about the X-Men, where it'll be female centered, with some reports I saw. So it's, I think the MCU is they're in trouble.
Mike? Okay, Mike probably stepped away. Eli?
I don't care if it's female centered or male centered. Superhero movies are dying. They have been going downhill since Endgame. Endgame should have been the culmination of the end of the superhero stage. That should have been it. But no, both Marvel and DC, they've been going down, down, down. The interest has been going down. The movie has been going down. Nobody's getting into the TV shows anymore. They're trying different directions. It's like they're reaching at thin air. Like, take a pause for 5 years, okay? Take an entire pause for 5 years from superhero shit and do something else. Then you will come back with a movie. When you come back with one movie, you can get the people's attention. Like, wait, they're back again with superhero movies. What's this about? Then they're going to get some talk. They're going to get some traction. They just need to have a hiatus on superhero movies, period. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's your opinion. Chris?
Yeah.
I think that big picture, they got time to, I would not go and right this second try to rewrite any ideas that we had with King or anything. I would maybe put on a back burner, say, what can we do before that comes out? or before we decide final on this. I mean, that's in my heart. That's what I want to say. Unfortunately, I have a feeling they're going to go and maybe do the DC thing, push the brakes on everything, stop, rewrite everything from this point on, which will come across as disjointed because I don't think that they were doing a horrible job so far on some of these. I mean, I liked Ant-Man, and I haven't seen the Marvels yet, but I know you, Anzo, you said it wasn't bad, so I mean that should tell us something.
Wasn't that bad.
The Marvels was good.
It wasn't that bad.
But
I enjoyed it.
I think that they have time, that they've done what they did with James Gunn. As time went by with James Gunn, they came back and said, okay, we're going to bring him back. I think that they just need to hold their course. I would go a little slower right now and not push out so much at one time and see what happens. I do believe that if this is given a full chance for a good appeal, and to Danny's point, a lawyer who could better understand what he's going up against, or what they're going up against, I think that there's still a chance that he could, salvage this part and some other stuff. So I mean, that's the plus side of it. But that's just not the world we live in. So I'd like to think that they'll take their time, but they'll probably do something rash and quick.
Danny asked, what do you think Marvel does going forward? And should DC pick up Jonathan Majors?
Oh, let me answer that really quick.
Go
DC
ahead.
picking up. If Marvel's not going to take him, DC won't take him. I don't think.
Okay. Danny?
I wouldn't mind, depending on what character they're talking about. I'm hearing something about what's the black version of Superman over there? What's his name?
Calvin Ellis?
No, Blue
Oh,
Marvel.
Val Zod.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Icon.
Blue Marvel, yeah.
I blew my
They could get him something that of substance, and they believe in him. I mean, I wouldn't be against it, but they probably won't touch him for the simple fact that, maybe his saving grace might be James Gunn, because James Gunn has walked in his shoes, so to speak, and he knows how it is to be accused of something that may have been misconstrued or not done right, and then I think they kind of fix it by rehiring him. So maybe if he could get the repeal reversed, and I mean do the appeal and it's reversed, and maybe that will clear some people. There's still gonna be people out there like, well, he's still dead, he did whatever. So, I don't
I'm
know.
sorry, Danny, but what did you mean by misconstrued? The reason why James Gunn was no longer employed is because his daughter committed suicide.
No, that was
talking
Zack
about-
Snyder.
Yeah, Zack Snyder.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
No,
Sorry.
Yeah.
There was a picture that was taken years ago or something, and
Yeah.
I guess it wasn't appropriate or whatever. I don't even remember what the picture was, and then that's when they said this, and then he got let go, and then I think 8 months later they picked him back up. So I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like if you follow sports, they were trying to stir something up with Jerry Jones. He took a picture way back 20, 30 years ago, maybe even longer than that, 50 years ago. He's a high schooler, and it was doing segregation. And he was seen at a segregation, like a rally or something, not doing anything, not holding a sign, but just there, like he looking. They were trying to say all this kind of stuff. So a lot of times people take something, try to paint their own narrative. Like I said, usually I probably wouldn't have felt like this a few months ago or last year. Maybe. I don't know, but it just, the more I think about this and the more I see this, and being someone that's in this particular field, we already get a bad enough rap, and when you see something that is blatant, not supposed to be done by the book or done in the correct way, it just kind of resonates with me differently, and I was like, you got, and right now we have to be above reproach. You have to do everything perfectly and by the book, and there's something you're still gonna get critics. When you don't do it by the book, and that just further perpetuates the story that cops are bad and all this kind of stuff, and I just don't like that perception.
And I completely understand because it looks bad on your profession. You know what I mean? Now we all know that sometimes you're the good guy. You know what I mean? When you're not talking about Mike Tomlin, you're the good guy. You know what I mean? But I understand that, when especially when you hear like they're lying on the stand and they're twisting up, it's kind of like fuck, man. You know what I mean? And now to know that another black man went down because of this kind of stuff, it kind of irks. And
But it ain't
I'm at
even black man on that. I mean, it's just. I mean, that's a part of it. I'd be lying if I say it wasn't. But this man, I think, was genuinely done wrong by perception, by
hmm
not having beyond a shadow of a doubt of his guilt, and that just, I don't like that.
Anzo, didn't those cops make a statement about his house?
yes,
Yeah, do you want to repeat that
yes,
statement? I forgot exactly what it was.
Oh, I want to say this one thing too. This is a
yeah. Go
different
ahead.
topic, but nothing brought more joy to me Sunday night than watching the Dallas Cowboys get destroyed by the Buffalo Bills.
49ers are number one in the seed right now, okay?
I don't care about that.
49ers and the Cowboys.
I don't care about that. I'm caring about
Niners.
49ers and the Cowboys.
I'm caring about Dallas Cowboys getting
Come on.
defeated. So let's keep that up, Cowboys.
Yeah,
Because
kick the Cowboys' ass.
if the Cowboys win a Super Bowl, we all gonna have to leave this planet.
It's
49ers never
funny
did it this year.
because we're about to get close to the end of the show, and of course we got to bring up the Cowboys not so much, but the 49ers and JG and Eli on the bottom screaming 49ers just rubs me the wrong fucking way. I
Hey,
don't
look at the Chargers, man. No more
Would,
coach. Bye
would you
bye.
rather have the 49ers win the Super Bowl or Dallas Cowboys?
the Dallas
49ers. Duh. What
Cowboys.
kind of question
Oh
is that?
no, bro.
I honestly would prefer the Dallas Cowboys, yes.
Oh, you
Because
No.
hateful
hold
bastard.
on, let me tell you why though. Because I used to be one of those fans.
Oh
I
my God.
really did,
I'm glad you
right?
grew out of. I'm glad you grew out of that.
Yeah.
No, the only reason why I'm not a Dallas Cowboys fan is because my dad's team was the Steelers, and when he died, I decided to take the. Well, I didn't even decide. It just happened because one of my friends was acting like a fool when the Steelers were playing, and that made me like them more and want them to win. So I started liking
So
the
you
Steelers.
so you got to
But
get that out.
I still got a little bit of love in my heart for Dallas,
Oh
though.
my God.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
there's a bonus here whenever the local teams are in the championships, like the Warriors, the Giants, 49ers. The dispensaries have sales. I love it.
Well, guys, I know we talked about should we ban Marvel. We'll go around one more time and answer the question. I'm gonna stick with no. Danny,
Like I said, I ain't gonna say ban, but I'm if this is
watch them for free.
I'm gonna be conflicted. If it's something that I really, 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 really want to watch, I'll probably pay it. But I ain't seen nothing that appeal to me right now, and I'm thinking that if I wait the 45 days and watch it on streaming service, I'll be just as happy. But going
hmm
out like I did the first night or the night before and discussing, I don't right now. I don't feel like I'm going to do that, and it could change. I'm not going to do a Stephen A. It's fluid right now. It's very fluid, but the fluid is solidifying, saying that
Oh my.
I probably ain't going to pull out my $10 to go watch this movie.
And you know what, Danny? I'll say this: if that's what we doing to support Jonathan Majors, then I'll do it.
Oh, it's all for support.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
For me now, I can't speak for nobody else.
yeah. Yeah,
And
no, I get you.
we love to say this, but the only way you're gonna hurt these companies is if you don't give me money. And
Facts.
is it gonna be enough of people that think like me? Probably not. Are they gonna miss my $10? Probably won't. But hey, I'll go buy
Uh,
something else with it.
But here's the thing, though, right? You do it, I do it, and all the people who support Jonathan Majors do it. It may
Right.
not be like a major amount of money they losing, but they're
Yeah.
gonna see that they losing money, and the reason
Yeah.
why they're losing money is because they fired
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors over charges that if he was guilty, if we seen
Yeah.
clearly that he was guilty,
That's my point, Anzo. As much as I like Mr. Kelly, he was guilty.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
for real.
so I can't argue that.
Mm-hmm.
Am I still going to listen to his music? Most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Am I still going to? I'm still going to watch Jonathan Majors movies? Definitely. But I don't
Mm-hmm.
think he was guilty. I don't. I just don't.
Absolutely.
And I could be
Me neither.
wrong. Only reason I believe he's guilty if he come out and say, I'm guilty.
Or we seen him beating off her
Or or
face.
we
You know
or
what I
we see
mean?
some video. Yeah, we see some video
Yeah.
for yeah. Then okay, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Marvel, please take me back. I'm going to watch the movies. But until I see that, the way I feel it, and like I said, it might change next month because something fire might come out. But right now, I ain't feeling it.
I'm right there with you. You back, Mike?
I
Okay, Mike is not back.
might get a good sale, boy.
You know, Eli.
Yeah, what was the question? I'm just kidding.
Are you gonna ban? Oh.
uh, banning Jonathan Majors banning Marvel because of Jonathan Majors is the equivalent of banning an airline because of a pilot. It makes no sense. He's not the major money holder for the company. It, I'm not going to ban Marvel because one actor did something. I haven't banned DC because of Ezra. Please, I'm going to watch Marvel stuff when they come out if I like it. I'm not going to ban an entire studio because of one bad person or one bad alleged incident. No, that's stupid.
No, it's not, Eli. How about if, for instance, you found out one of your favorite restaurants? What are one of your favorite restaurants?
I really don't have a favorite
Okay,
restaurant.
let's just say a restaurant you like now, and you found out the owner said something racial on
Hold
about
on, Danny.
his
Ask him his favorite dispensary.
yeah your favorite your favorite dispensary, and you
Okay,
found
yeah,
out
yeah.
that the owner of that said something very racial about Hispanics. Would you still go to that dispensary?
I would not go to that dispensary, but I would still go to other dispensaries. I'm not banning the dispensary
Yeah, but
industry because of one person. That's
there's
the
no
equivalent of it, dude.
there's no other Marvel video. If there's a Marvel 2.0, I would go to the Marvel 2.0. But ain't no, there's only one Marvel. So what you gonna do?
You're talking about one dispensary. That's banning one actor out of the whole entire industry. No,
I'm
I'm just
not.
not going to go to that dispensary anymore. I'll go to another dispensary. Like, I'm
No,
not going
Right,
to
but
watch
what?
Jonathan
But
Major
what?
movies more. I'll
But
watch
what
somebody
he's
else's
saying?
movie.
but there's only
Hold on,
one Marvel.
but that's what he's saying. So, like, let's say there's only that one dispensary.
Then I'll go to another dispensary out of state or out of county.
But
I'll
there
go
ain't no
somewhere
other
else.
Marvel. There, I would go to DC movies. I just wouldn't watch Marvel movies because there's no other. What other alternative? There ain't a Marvel 2.0 or there ain't a
I
Marvel
got you.
Canada.
No, I understand what Danny's saying. I understand what you're saying because there's no other place to go, right? So you're saying, yeah, you would go to another dispensary. That's fine. But with Marvel, there's no other than DC. So let's just say, we're DC fans. That don't even roll out my tongue right. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
Sounds perfect.
dude,
Sounds perfect.
I am not gonna boycott Marvel Studios because of one
That
person.
that's your opinion.
That's
I
my
got you.
opinion. Yeah,
So,
that's my opinion. It's okay,
so
Danny. Let me
what?
ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Danny. If
Huh?
your pastor said something that totally was 180 against what you believed originally, would you continue to go to that church or would you go to another church?
I go to another church,
That's my point
but it
exactly. There's
ain't. But
still other churches.
there's not
There's
another
still Marvel.
Marvel. There's not
I'm
another
not. You
Marvel.
don't understand what I'm talking about. I'm
I
talking about a
do.
whole.
Yes. So you're talking about a whole. Danny's talking about a whole too because Marvel is a whole, right? So we can't just ban a Marvel movie. We have to ban all of them, right? It's
Yeah,
not
I'm not
like
going to
we
ban
can
all of
just
them.
okay.
The example
I'm
you
not
talking about,
understanding having to
Eli,
ban
who is
all of
like, say for instance, you believe in Buddhism. Then you went to, and you found out that there is something wrong, whatever, with Buddhism. You're not going to go to the Buddhism. You're going to go try another different
Oh, you're
religion.
saying, but you just said I found something wrong with the entire thing of Marvel, not because of majors. That's your example right there.
What?
Yeah, you just said this is like, if I believe in Buddhism and I found something wrong with Buddhism, then I will go to another religion. Well, that's like going banning Marvel, finding out something wrong with Marvel and not an actor, and just going straight to DC. No, I'm not boycotting an organization because of an individual.
What you said, I didn't understand. But what I'm telling you, how I'm
Right.
feeling, so I want to get clarification. I'm blaming Marvel for not standing behind Jonathan Major, even though he was found guilty. That has been my point since I
Right.
came on this stream. So, in order for me to combat what's going to make Danny feel better, I'm not going to support Marvel by giving them my dollar.
Right. He's
If there
not
was a,
saying.
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Danny. No, I was just gonna say he's not saying he's banning Marvel because of Jonathan Majors. He's banning Marvel because they didn't stand behind Jonathan Majors.
That is my argument.
Yes. That
Ah,
does that sound more clear to you, Eli? You understand that
yeah,
more?
yes, it does. That's
Okay,
clarification for me.
yeah. Right.
Okay.
So that's what he's saying. It's not like, oh, yeah, we're gonna ban Marvel because Jonathan Majors got into a problem. If that's the case, we wouldn't be watching no movies because I'm sure half of these actors out there
That's
have
right.
cases on them that we don't even
Yeah,
fucking know
cause
about.
that
You know
cause
what I
that's
mean?
the same thing they did with Old Boy from Flash. I still watched the movie. I didn't care
Ezra.
Right.
about him.
Right. So Danny's saying because they didn't stand behind him, that's why he's not gonna go support him. And I can actually get down with that. JG?
Well, I'm not gonna support Marvel because I hate the movies. But
Wow.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
You're lucky.
Joking
You're
about
lucky you said
joking.
okay,
I'm
you're lucky
Wait,
joking.
you
wait,
said the
wait.
joking part.
You joking about supporting Marvel or joking about the movie part?
No, he was
Ooh,
joking about the Marvel. I
I
hope.
don't know which one's gonna
Yeah.
get me muted, so I'm not gonna answer that.
Oh, damn.
I mean, this is a situation where it was just two people who shouldn't have been together at all, especially for this length of time. Um, Banning Marvel. I don't see what a couple people banning Marvel will do as far as the whole scheme of things, right? If you want to make a point saying, "Hey, we're behind Jonathan Majors, therefore there needs to be a majority of people not supporting Marvel because they did not have Jonathan Majors back, even though all the evidence pointed that this man should be innocent and charge should be dropped altogether, his name should be cleared. You still did not have his back. It was almost as if they already had in their mind they weren't going to bring him back. They were just using this as a scapegoat to say, see, this happened, so we're definitely not going to bring him back. They already had plans to not bringing him back. Um, so will I support Marvel? I will watch Marvel things, but I just will not go to the movies and purchase a ticket.
I
I
got you.
will watch it with JG Vision for free.
You you were doing that anyway, so there's no skin off of
Hey, I went to
Marvel's
the movie
back.
to see the Marvels.
Okay.
That
Okay.
was it.
It's
But
just
I'll
like when
say
somebody says something. Some of these channels say some crazy stuff. I just don't support them. There were times when I did click, but then they
mm-hmm,
said some crazy stuff. I just I don't.
I
It's
agree.
almost like your favorite fast food, let's say McDonald's, right? And they gave you a Big Mac or something, right? You got food poisoning. Will you not go to any McDonald's, or will you not go to that McDonald's?
Yeah,
If it if
McDonald's.
it if it was only one McDonald's, I wouldn't go back to McDonald's if I went there and got food poisoning. But that's ain't the same thing. There ain't two or three Marvels. There's only one. Y'all missing that point.
And that's the problem.
If it was multiple Marvels that I could choose from, Marvel A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and A did this and the other ones didn't, then I would go to Marvel B, C, D, E, F, G. But there's only one Marvel.
Well, okay, here's an equivalent that I would try to make an equivalent. Let's say this certain series or this certain movie has nothing to do with Kang, but it's still Marvel. Would you see that movie, even though it has nothing to do with Jonathan Majors or his
No,
character? Or you just not watch it, period?
I'm telling you, right now, today, Danny Graham will not support any Marvel movies because I felt like they should have stood behind him even though he was found guilty. Now, will I feel like this 2 months from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now? I can't say I will. But right now, today, I get a very sour taste in my mouth at Marvel. So for the foreseeable future, they won't be getting my $10. Will
So
that
also,
change later on down the road? It possibly will. I ain't gonna sit here and say forever because I'd be lying. But right now, because they do a Black Panther 3, I'm there. I'm telling you that right now.
so
But
also, if
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors went to DC, which is probably won't happen, but let's say he did, and become Jon Stewart, will this officially become a DC channel? Will
no,
DC run off, roll off your tongue like it should?
No. No.
we
The Jonathan Majors as John Stewart probably would, and I'd probably I would probably cap for the movie, even if it's bad, because Jonathan Majors in there. So I'd probably still cap for the movie. But that would be it. I would tell everybody to understand that this movie is an exception.
And last time I checked, Chaos Central ain't haters of DC.
Facts.
No, but in New York cap wearing dude up here is.
Who?
No.
Oh, we love Marvel. We love DC.
Now,
We
now
go
you
with
see,
numbers. Besides Aquaman, name another movie that came close to anything the MCU made, bro.
Uh,
Yeah, I'll wait on that. Thank you.
yeah, you
Okay.
do okay.
Okay. Man
Next
of
out is Justice
Steel.
League.
Man of Steel. Suicide Squad.
Not even close to what Endgame made.
You
Because
talking about
none
Man
of
as
of
those
far as
movies.
You add up all the DCU movies and you add up all the MCU movies. I guarantee you they'll be lucky to get over $1.5 billion. The last five, I did a video on this. The last five movies that the MCU did total over $3 billion. Let that sink in. And there's
How
30
much money did
something.
Captain
There's
Marvel make?
30, huh?
Oh
How much
shit!
money
What the
did
hell?
Captain Marvel make?
Hang on. I'll tell
I
you in a
don't
second.
like
I had the list.
190 something million.
Shit. Where'd it go at? Hang on.
Not the
But
Marvel,
you see,
Captain Marvel, the first one.
Or Captain Marvel, it made almost
oh,
$1 billion.
I think
It
it
might
made
have
Oh
been
over
a
a
bit.
billion.
So would
Yeah.
you say that's one of the top
Shit.
MCU movies
I'm
as
not
far as
saying I ain't
good?
saying nothing about top. I'm saying if you combine the last five MCU movies, they total over
Preach,
three
Danny.
billion dollars.
That doesn't mean that they were good.
I ain't saying nothing about good. I ain't
That's
saying no
that's what
good.
I'm talking
Facts.
about. What's good and what's not. Just because something makes a lot of money, don't make it good.
I agree with
You
you 1,000%, brother. I'm just giving you numbers. Numbers don't lie.
That
Yeah, I
is
had the
true.
numbers up here. Hang on a
and the
Whether
second.
we
point
like whether we like something or not is objective, but numbers
Here we
ain't
go.
objective.
and
Here
the
we go. I
point of
found it.
hold on, Eli, one more second before I go. Just let me say it. The point of Danny's argument is a lot of people are saying the MCU is dying, but the last five movies grossed $3 billion total, right? So even though some of those movies may have flopped, they still total $3 billion.
And the main argument is some people said that a movie just because a movie made a lot of money doesn't mean that it's good. The same thing can be said just because a movie didn't make a lot of money don't necessarily mean that it's bad. Because a
Exactly.
lot of people are saying that the Marvels is bad, and that's not a bad movie. Just because it didn't make 200 billion or didn't make that magical $500 million that most MCU movies make, don't mean it's a bad movie. It just means that for whatever reason, people didn't care for it. The
I
same
have
can
the
be
numbers.
said with Black Adam. I think Black Adam was a very good movie, but if you look at the numbers, it says otherwise.
I have the numbers right here. As soon as I was looking to share the screen, what the revenue was in the weekend and production cost and box office right here for all the Marvels.
Okay, so that's all the Marvel movies we're talking here.
Yes, we've got production date, release date, opening weekend, domestic box office worldwide. The lowest right here is the Marvels at opening weekend of 46 million with a production of 274 million. And we have let's go here to Endgame. Production budget is 400 million. Worldwide box office was 2 billion.
Yeah, absolutely.
We ain't
Yeah.
done that. What are you talking about?
So that's almost like comparing the Xbox to PlayStation, right?
No,
Xbox
Hey,
comparing
watch your
Atari
mouth.
2600 to
Hold
PlayStation
on,
5.
hold on. Watch your mouth, boy. Watch what you are
What?
about to say.
I'm a huge Xbox fan. What are you talking about?
Okay, okay, go ahead. You're good.
You're gonna get on me before I
Okay,
even finish.
okay, you're good.
You have a lot of people say PlayStation's a better consoles, better everything, right? Well, it's
Let's look at
been out a lot longer.
let's
It's
look at
been
release
used
date
for
It seemed to
longer.
here.
be more
So of
friendly,
course it's
like
gonna
your
make more.
games. I hate when you got this Xbox A, B, C, or D, and you can't play certain movies on it. Cause I would gladly buy the $75 Mortal Kombat, but my damn Xbox won't play it. It makes me mad.
This column right here is the this column right here is the weekend, basically the final weekend's domestic sales. As you can see, Marvel superhero movies have gone downhill. Look at this: 250 to 118, 200 to 108, 250 to 181, 250
Gosh,
144.
is there any way I
Yeah,
can
but
strangle you?
but you got to look at the overall gross though, right? So I'm seeing 199 million, 8 million, 4 million, 8 million, 7 million, 9 million. So Add that up.
Are
That's a
those the
lot.
1 billion.
Okay, Star Wars. Star Wars.
Those
As
were the
far as
last five.
movies, has Star Wars gone downhill as far as movies?
Yes,
Well, quality, yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
but not,
They made a lot of money, have they not?
JG, you arguing our point. What you saying is saying exactly what I'm saying. I've never said in my argument that the movie's got to be good. All I'm saying is that whether the movie is good or bad is objected by the viewer. That is very objective or subjective, or whatever terminology you want to use. But the numbers don't lie. All I'm
But
saying
have
is
they gone downhill?
you add the last 5 DCEU movies, compare them to the last 5 MCU movies, and you'd be like, holy, whatever
Let me
you
get.
want to use.
Let's forget the
That's all I'm
DCU here.
saying.
Oh, by
So
the way, there
Eli,
is technically DCEU is not a official term according to Gunn, but he's still adapting it.
yeah. So Eli, you think that Marvel is dying? Is that what you were trying to prove with that?
Yeah, I should show you the line graph right here.
What I was trying to say is, as far as financial success, the
Uh-huh.
numbers have dwindled somewhat. So therefore, someone can say,
You know
yeah,
what?
superhero movies, Marvel,
Let
DC, they're
me let
going
me
down.
just do this. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do this because I'm gonna make it easy. Top grossing Marvel movies.
I have it
All
right here. I
right.
just showed it to you.
Yeah, but your list is all kind of, you know what I mean?
I'll tell you, it is going to be Endgame, No Way Home, Panther, Infinity War, Avengers, Age of Ultron.
Because I want to see where the new ones rank. All right. So that's what I'm saying. So Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is 16. What else did we have? Black Wakanda Forever
Was
is
800,
21.
and it made
Yeah.
like $800-something million.
Yeah. So
853.
it's on the list there. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is on that list at number 24.
845 million.
Love and Thunder at 7 million,
7,
32.
700
760
something.
million.
Yep. And what's the other one?
So them three together right now, that's over 2 point something billion dollars right there.
No Way
Those
Home
are
was
all
1
sequel
billion.
movies.
No, I'm saying
And
Compared to
what?
the first, has there been a drop off?
yeah, it's been a drop off, but as long as I'm making $1 billion, I don't care.
Or close to it.
Well, I mean,
You know what I
that's
mean?
obvious. I mean,
What
I
do you
wouldn't
do? What do
care
you do
either.
for a living, Mr. JG?
I'm not exposing myself online.
Okay, well, let's just say what I
I
do for a living. Let's just
got
say,
ops out here.
okay, let's just say,
Yeah, you got one online.
you got
Go
what?
ahead, Donnie.
If I can know every year that I can make 6 figures or close to it, I'd be whistling going to work. And I could have, and I was previously I was making, let's say 150, and I dropped down to 110 or 100, even 95. I'm still whistling,
Yeah.
still going to work. Hey, it's time for the clock to go off, man. I'm ready to go to work.
Yeah.
I mean, that's obvious. I wouldn't care if I'm making that much money. I wouldn't care what anybody thought about it,
That's
as
what
long as
I'm
I'm bringing
saying.
in the money. What I'm
Yeah.
saying, as far as my personal enjoyment, it's gone down.
Well, I can't. Yeah, I mean, I can't argue that point because, like I said, that's subjective.
And I
Very
can't
subjective.
either. I can't either. Personally, some of those movies aren't as good, but regardless, they're making money. They're still
Yeah.
making money, other than the
Just like as
Marvels.
much as I think is a general consensus, we all don't care for the sequels. Them suckers made over $2 billion,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they are the worst out of all 9 movies.
True.
Facts. Facts. So, as he was
That's
saying, you don't have
that's
to be
partially
good to
yeah.
make a lot of money.
That's partially why Kathleen Kennedy still got a job.
100%.
Cause you be like, why you gonna fire me? Now I made 2 movies. I mean, didn't the first two, Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, made over $1 billion each?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Laughing all the way to the bank.
Man,
Here comes
man.
Dandelion.
Oh my lord!
I hate the
I tell you,
prequels more
I
than
tell
the
you,
sequels.
I like Danny Land. I think she's a very intelligent woman. ain't hard to look at, but that statement right there, boy, makes me question, boy.
I
Though,
cannot talk. I can't talk shit about the Phantom Menace. My friend would kill me.
I like the movie. Like,
so those are let's get a divorce type of words. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That is
Like
you sleep. That is sleeping in the next. Sleep on the couch.
facts, facts,
Here's the
facts.
pillow. Here's the pillow. There's the couch.
Facts. Take your sequel love and ass out there
There
and
you go.
enjoy.
Here's some NyQuil to help you sleep if you're having trouble sleeping.
Facts. Oh shit. Well, Chris is gone. He said he had to bounce out. I think we're gonna close it up. We're at the 2 hour mark. Was a
Man,
great show.
yes it was.
Um, absolutely, guys. Make sure you go and support. Jonathan Majors. Like Danny said, if you don't want to do the Marvel thing, go watch a movie. Go watch The Harder to Fall.
I
Go
might go
watch.
watch Lovecraft Craft Country. I might go
I got it
watch.
on
Watch
right now, actually.
Facts. Watch Lovecraft Country. Watch Ant-Man and the Quantumania. It's on Disney Plus. You're
I
already
don't know if I
paying
can
for
sit through
it.
that shit
That might
again.
make me like that movie even more than I don't like it.
Which one?
Quantumania.
Yeah, you probably will. Should watch it. JG, where can they find you, sir? Yeah.
Wednesday nights on the OOC with Canada's royalty, Enzo, aka the Abbott and the Osiris of this shit, along with Roberto, aka No Woman, No Cry, keeping the real since 65. At times, you can also catch us with Danny, aka the Road to Wisdom, aka the Creme de la Creme. And you can also find me with Superwise talking that geek stuff that I love.
Absolutely. Eli.
Eli, the high science
Eli,
guy here.
you can
Yeah.
find Eli looking for someone's anus.
No,
Oh,
I'm
I
not looking.
mean
I'm not a.
Uranus.
I am not a
Uranus. I'll make
proctologist.
them correct you.
It's pronounced
You know?
Uranus. It's to the right of the moon. If you have clear skies, look up to the right of the moon. That little dot, that's Uranus. And JWS released a stunning, great, beautiful picture of it with some infrared light attached to it. And to the left of that moon is Jupiter. And if you have clear, nice telescope, you can see at least two of the moons. At least Io and
Mike?
Titan.
Is Mike there? Damn, Mike's been gone for a minute. I really hope he's getting some good sales over there. Like whoever's,
Uh,
because I'm pretty sure he has the show up. Whoever is in the store, like he's a good guy. Just buy it out. Buy out whatever you're buying. Don't hesitate. Just buy it. You know what I'm saying? I'll wait for Danny to come back so Danny can shout out his channel, and then we will close it up. But before we go, Die Hard and Die Hard 2 is a Christmas movie.
no, it's not.
Yes, they are.
No.
Yes, they are.
And
Let me
Ghostbusters is a
see.
Christmas movie, okay? So is
Could be.
Hawkeye a TV show.
Could be. The chat, everybody that came in to,
Uh,
enjoy the show. Thank you all. Dandelion, Dewan. We also had David Quintana in the house. We had Cousin T in the house. Shifty Gizm was in the house. I think Shifty left after I said variety sucked. But he was right. We were arguing about two different things. Like if we're talking about the entertainment side of it, yeah, I think he'll agree with me on that one. So who else was up in here? Me one was up in here as well. So thank you. Jason Lee Tucker popped in as well. I appreciate all you guys that come in and chill with us every week. It's always fun. Oh, K Dot. K Dot was in here, and K Dot said Rebel Moon over Star Wars. So let me ask you guys this before we go. Because I think it's in 2 days.
What's that?
Rebel Moon.
You know what?
Is-
I am nervous about these reviews I've been
Let me
seeing.
see.
okay,
Let me see.
I'm gonna act stupid here for a second. I have no idea what Rebel Moon is. I watched the trailer and this looks pretty interesting. Is it connected to Star Wars?
Well, I think it's supposed to be what he wanted Star Wars to be, or what he was.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I saw no Star Wars element in this, I'm like, this actually looks pretty interesting. And I had no idea this is connected to Star Wars. I'm like, it is?
Okay, so it has a theatrical release in December, December 15th. It's coming on streaming service December 21st. So yeah, in 2 days.
What?
I'll be on there right now. Back there.
Rebel
afterwards.
Moon.
But it came on. Oh, this Friday, right?
Yeah, comes out on 21st is Friday. Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Any thoughts on it, Danny?
I'm interested in seeing it. I ain't ready to say it's better than Star Wars yet. I saw something that Fatal J put. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I know he did a video today at 5:30 about it.
What up,
5:05.
LP?
So
Ooh, Percy Jackson dropped.
Oh, I didn't get to watch it yet. I'll go check out his video and
pretty
see.
good.
Percy Jackson?
Yeah, Percy Jackson dropped episode 1 and 2. Ooh, I'm watching that next.
Yeah, that looked pretty good when I saw the trailer.
Percy Jackson Olympians? Yeah, I'm watching that next. I just looked.
I didn't even know, so maybe I'll check that out. Danny, shout out your channel.
I am The Road to Wisdom. You can catch me on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I need to probably do a video for tomorrow. I think I got something in mind to do. But also check me out here on Khaos Central on Mondays and or whenever life lets us have it, because we're three busy gentlemen. And Wednesdays to hang out tomorrow. And of course, you can catch me Saturday on Storms Live, and sometime I pop on Nzo show tomorrow, the OOC. So I'm kind of all over, man. Just whenever life lets me pop in, I try to pop in and say what I say and do what I do and go to bed.
Absolutely. And I'll say Rogue Comics over here, you can check him out, the channel of the same name. He does Fortnite and all kinds of stuff over there that you guys might enjoy. I want to thank everybody for coming in, and I'm just going to do this real quick to end up the stream. Danny, don't do that. Don't do that. So first off, I will say, y'all, go and show support for Jonathan Majors and go on one of the streaming services and watch his movies so that they know that we still support him.
That is correct.
And fuck Grace Jabari, fuck Alvin Briggs and his DA's office, fuck the police officers who arrested him, fuck Variety and the Hollywood Reporter, and fuck everybody on social media who thinks he's guilty. Good night.
I am inevitable.
Here come a fire intro here, buddy. It's fire. Let's listen to it.
Without a doubt, 100%.
Oh yeah. This is another Khaos Central production. Khaos List, starring my main man Nzo. 1/3 of three-headed monster we call the Khaos Central crew. This intro's by this show, the Khaos List. I hope you like it, bro. Here we go. The Khaos List is the name of the show, and the name of the host you know is Nzo. If you say something crazy, dumb, stupid, or wrong, it's a one-way trip to the fandom zone to be like Nzo. Hold up, I didn't mean it. Guess what, son? Your ass should have seen it coming. Gotta watch what you say, just like the Mandalorian. And this is the way. Monday night, 9 o'clock. Second Monday of the month. This is the spot. So get ready. Strap on in. The crew is ready, so let's begin. So let's go.
You got it wrong.